Hey, so we're just sharing the news updates. I don't know if you guys have been to the demonstrator website and looked at the news launch. On the 15th, they shared that there's a new product strategy, and it's a whole web page linked in the Stampin' Up website. So you can go and take a look at what their new product strategy is. And I will post a picture. I did take a snippet of it to show you guys, but it is different. We're going to have 3 catalogs next year. Now, I haven't been able to find the video of what that actually means or hear about it. I went searching today and couldn't find it. But it looks like, let me see if I have it up on here. Maybe I can screen share it. Yes, I can. So, things are changing. I guess all of that to say on how they're like launching everything, but it's good. And I think the reason is I have my assumptions because I was just at this retreat this weekend and the person I was with was a close to my heart demonstrator. And well, I mean, and I guess now she's come over to Stampin' Up, but I got a whole bunch of insight from her. And she was saying that they are not very happy with how our catalog is launched because we only get a mini catalog twice a year and our big catalog sticks around all year where they're used to getting something new every month. Every month they have a new launch and the catalog they get every month is just as thick as our mini catalogs and they would get it monthly. And she's like, it would just sell itself because there was so many great things and people knew that things were leaving. So I found that interesting because I tried to explain to her, I said, but from a demonstrator who teaches and shares all of that information with people, we like to plan and we don't want our product to be discontinued. We want it to be available when we go to show them. But pardon me, their strategy is different. Like, well, and I haven't met any of her demonstrators, but she doesn't teach classes. And so the product just sells itself. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. She designs scrapbook layouts and sells her own layouts and kits, but she doesn't actually host classes per se. So I found that interesting. But anyways, here's the 2025 product release calendar. You can link it. It's right on the main homepage and it kind of goes over everything. But here's what that, let me minimize this. Do you guys see yourselves on there? Okay. The catalogs, so they're gonna come out like the digital version's gonna come out in November. We know this. This would have been our, the last mini catalog of the year. And then it's gonna revert, it's gonna come out in March to May and then August to September.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm like, so is that doing away with the July launch of the catalog? I guess so. I'll find out more at Backstage. So November 5th or 6th, I think it is Backstage. I'll find out more, but I just found that very interesting that catalogs are now going to launch 3 times a year. And then all the light blue stuff is where the demonstrators can pre-order. But the dark blue is where it's available to customers. Yeah, so January, May, and September. And then they're going to have one scrapbooking brochure for the whole year, which is interesting. And it sounds like, now I haven't been able to find the details, but I heard someone say that it's a new scrapbook offering. So we'll see what that brochure looks like. And then our online exclusives are coming out every other month. But I think that's how we have it set up now. But you can see exactly which months and where your pre-order comes in. And then it looks like they're going to have their kit collections. I don't know if they're going to be adding to it every month now instead of every other month. But they have that all embedded in there. Interesting, hey?
yeah.
So, like I said, we'll find out more Backstage when they kind of explain to it a little more to us in November. That's the leadership conference. So, leading into the Backstage is On Stage. So, On Stage is in March in North Carolina. We talked about it last month, but I just wanted to see if people are thinking about joining me. Registration opens in November and we had that little budget tracker going on. And how much did we have? $150 in September. And the idea was is so that you could have the 150 ready for registration fee. October, it's like, okay, let's try and save $400 before Christmas. It might be a little hard. So even if we don't do it, we'd have our 150 for our November registration, and then we can kind of balance out the estimated cost for hotel and stuff afterwards. But I just wanted to throw it out there as a little friendly reminder because I'll be posting when registration opens just to try and get in. But that's Stampin' Up's annual convention. And it's just a whole lot of fun because it's demonstrators from all over North America. Sometimes you get some from Europe who decide to come to North America to check things out, but it's just 3 full days. It's a Thursday to Saturday, and it's full of stamping demonstrations. They usually launch the new catalog, but since that's in March, that'll be probably, I don't know how they're going to do the new catalog thing. Maybe that'll be the second catalog of the year that we get to see. Yeah, that's what it would be because then we can pre-order it early. But yeah, it's just always a whole lot of fun. You make swaps, you trade with people. It's just it's a different experience than what you get at any other Stampin' Up event. So any questions about that? Okay. And then speaking of events, I caught wind. Now, I don't know when you're going to hear about this or see it, but I caught wind that next year there's going to be what they call an album retreat. I'm like, oh, what's this album retreat? And it sounds like there'll be a package offering of an album class that Stampin' Up would then host so that you can purchase the album kit and then watch it online. Kind of like Creativity Now, where they give you some product offerings, but it's a whole entire bundle. So the bundle means it's a stamp set, it's dies, it's paper, it's different things as part of the kit, plus scrapbook pages for a whole entire album. And I think I want to say it's 12 layouts, maybe it's 24, I can't remember. But stay tuned. That's something that's not really publicly knowledge. I got that as insider information from close to my heart people because it's what they used to do all the time. And apparently Stampin' Up had to buy their last offering that they weren't able to do before they transferred over to the company. So they said Stampin' Up's going to be offering it, I think in January or February, I don't know. But stay tuned. It's actually kind of interesting. It's at a high price point, one that I'm not too sure of. And especially if you're not scrapbookers, you might not even care about it. But I found it interesting because it's set in such a way that if you only bought that to kind of maintain your quarterly minimums, you'd be fine. So you would buy this one kit that has everything in it and you would stamp, you'd make projects, you'd do all kinds of fun things, and then you'd be good. You wouldn't have to order anything else to maintain your minimum. So I don't know if that's the strategy behind it or if it is just to have a full day scrapbook event. We'll find out more, but it's good to know that some of those things kind of went that way. So speaking of close to my heart, the sale's still on. So it's while supplies last. Stampin' Up is trying to get rid of all of that merchandise that they purchased that was close to my heart logos. There's still items on there 30% off. And some of those items include page protectors. So if you are someone who's a scrapbooker and likes 12 by 12, page protectors are on sale. They also had those adhesive flaps. I don't know if there's any of those left, but they're photo flaps in different sizes that have peel and stick so that you can make like a waterfall effect or like layered multiple photos.
I think they only have the 3x3s left.
Okay. Yeah, but there's all kinds of stuff. And then they had different color two-tone paper that was in their own colors. I honestly don't know what's all left over there. You'd have to go check it out, but it is 30% off. This two-tone paper is what's close to my heart used to use is what we own now, like Stampin' Up. So the colors might be somewhat similar, but not exactly of what's left on there. I'm just happy to know that we took it on and carried it forward because I absolutely love that paper. But I just wanted to mention that in case there was some of those scrapbooking supplies that you might need. They are 30% off and it's while supplies last. So there's no end date on the sale. So let folks know, especially if you know people who were close to my heart stampers before, that might be something they'd be interested in. Stampin' Up is going to rebrand some of that stuff. So they're going to bring it back, such as those flaps I talk about. And you'll see as I make some projects here in the coming months how I incorporate that because of course I was obsessed with all of those flaps and I ordered them. Um, but anyways, yeah, they're rebranding them, page protectors as well. So we know that we're going to get those back. Okay, now that was a lot of little stuff. This is also, oh, there's a packaging update. Does anyone have a Stampin' Up! Box near them that did they get an order recently?
No,
Like
not anymore.
okay, that's okay. I got one right here. Okay. So I also learned something new, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, and I have no idea when this started. But on our Stampin' Up! Boxes, you will now find your order number. You no longer need to go search online for your order number if you're calling DBWS or if you're calling demonstrator support. It is right on your box. So that is a aha moment for me. It's barcoded. I have no idea because, yeah, I just don't recognize it. So it's pretty new, but I'm pretty excited. That's less clicks I have to do on the internet to find the information. The second packaging update is Stampin' Up! If you had small orders that didn't need to be put in a box, that just needed to be put in an envelope, they used to do bubble wrap envelopes. But as of last week, they stopped doing that, and all of their stuff now is going to come in a paper envelope.
Yeah, I got mine on Thursday because Sherry helped me and she put it on my mailbox.
Oh, so Sherry handled it. So that's the new packaging, and it's all in like craft. It's almost like an Amazon package, but harder.
Yeah, it's very firm. Yeah.
So what Stampin' Up! Is saying, because it's a new product, they've tested it, they've sampled it, but if as you get them, like give them feedback. They want to know. The idea is that they were really trying to mitigate wrecked product. So stamp sets were getting crushed, like the cases were getting broken, things were getting damaged, and so now these have really like sharp corners on them. I don't know, it just looked like a very interesting box. And it had a pull tab for easy opening. Was it easy to open, Kim?
Yeah, very easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we ordered, it was just those dies from Paper Pumpkin, the one with the leaf and the Mary and the little tag.
Yeah.
So it's very, very small.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no way you were bending that package at all. Like it was very firm. It was obviously very thin as well. It was just like cardboard basically, and then just a rip tab.
Yeah. So I'm anxious to see how it holds up in the snow. Or like, because I don't know, when I get my plastic packaging, they look like people have stomped on them. Like they're black, they're dirty, they've got marks, but hopefully this will work because it's just another recyclable product, but it's supposed to be more protective. Okay, and the last bit of learning is craft sales. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I don't know if anyone's thinking about or going to do some craft sales this year at community halls or anywhere. If you are, go and check out the video we did last year. In the group, if you go under guides, one of them will be craft sales. So go and check it out because there were some really good ideas for 3D gifts, different things to make. And I think we even talked about Facebook group that's out there that's good to join. So if you're interested, just go back and rewatch that video for some good information on craft sales. And then if you have any questions, just reach out to me or put them in the comments because there's quite a few people who have experience of either attending or having tables there.
I am doing Knotwoods.
You are doing Knotwoods? You changed your mind?
Yeah.
Good. And that'll always haunt me. So just so you guys know, 2 years ago was when I went to the Knotwood craft sale to go see Chantel. And when I left, that's when I fell and broke my ankle. Oh, anyways.
Thanks for that, Trisha.
No, it's good. I'm just, it's going to force me to come see you to remember it every year. So speaking of years, this is Stampin' Up's new Stampin' Up! Year. So Stampin' Up! Operates from October to September. So now we're starting a very new Stampin' Up! Year. It's really interesting. I just read some stats. So just as an FYI, there's 4,600 and some odd demonstrators in Canada. That's it. I thought there would have been way more. There's like 35,000 in the US, but only like even with all the new Close to My Heart, just under 5,000, like 4,600.
Oh,
Yeah, shocking. So that's why they're really hoping that this starter kit deal will kind of help with some of that, especially for Christmas crafts. Like, what a way to get all your Christmas craft supplies at a discount. Oh, anyways. Oh, yeah. So speaking of that, so with that, that's where I was leading. With that, for this next year, as another challenge every single month, I'm gonna have like posted in the banner that I put on the page is that we want to try and better our best each month, like year over year. That's what Stampin' Up does with all of their sales and the recruiting stats. So I thought, you know, I'm going to share this challenge with you guys, and I'm gonna I'm gonna find some gifts to have every single month to give people who meet this challenge. So basically, what it is when you go to look at your last year's sales, you just want like what month are we in now? October. You want to look at October 2023. And if your sales at the end of October 2024 are even just $1 more than what they were last year, I'm going to have a special gift. Now, the thing is I can't actually monitor that very easily. So I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me when you better your best. But when you do better your best, make sure you either do a post, tag me in it, send me a message and let me know. And we're going to try this from October to September to see how it works. And just as a way for me to also give some incentive and some product to all of you guys who are working towards, I mean, most of you are doing this for the discount to get the supplies you need, but why not try and earn some extra things as it is? And so as I'm saying that, that also reminds me that starting in January, when that new catalog does come out, that's when those new Hostess rewards are starting, is what I'd heard. So again, I haven't found the video that's telling me that, but I'm just giving you heads up that's where it's supposed to be coming in, where you earn your own. I think, didn't they say it was like 10% is what you're going to get on every order you put in. So it doesn't matter who you order from or how you order, that credit goes towards you, and then you can bank it up to purchase whatever you want with it. I'll still research more, and as I know more, I'll let you guys know, but I just want to flag that as an upcoming possible change for January with the new catalog. Oh, okay. I'm done with all of that. Does anyone have any questions? Or is there news I forgot to share? I sometimes do that. In fact, I feel like we should I also want to add a volunteer to my list of volunteers called the news director. I need someone to be reading the news on the Stampin' Up website and sharing it back with all of us at these team meetings. I feel like I keep missing stuff. Anyway, okay. I'm going to hand it over to Kim. We're going to start stamping. Kim, we're going to go halfway through your stamping, and then we'll play a little game.
Okay.
Actually, we'll do your make and takes first, and then we'll play a game, and then we'll do the embossing. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Okay. Let me you.
There you go. Yep, I'm right. So I got this idea on page 47 of our new catalog. There it is right there. Unfortunately, I couldn't find, usually they have on every catalog the sort of like the recipe of everything. For some reason, I couldn't find one for this catalog. Now, I don't know if it was just a me problem or if they didn't put one out. I don't know. So I just kind of had to wing this one on my own. So in your kit for this, you should have piece of cardboard that I kind of drew a circle, and then I did a cutout with a bigger circle. And I used old circle dies for the center, and I used this old template to trace the outline. I used to have a cutter, but I couldn't find it, or else I would have cut it all. But all you have to do now is basically cut out the outer edge of your circle, so then you have like a little wreath base for it. And this is what it's going to look like. One of my stars popped off. You're going to need a lot of dimensionals. And after doing this and having it sit in my basement, I would suggest also hot glue, just to keep them stable because they keep popping off because my basement might be a bit too cold. But that's what it's going to look like. So you're
Kim,
basically.
do you suggest we should go find a hot glue gun?
I would say I would do it like this first and then go afterwards because they're easy to pry off, right? You just gently pry it off and then put a
Okay.
blob of glue and schmuck your star back on.
Okay.
And then they can do that anytime they want. Then they don't have to worry about time or not getting it finished or whatever. So you're going to have in your kit some of our vanilla gingham ribbon, which is really pretty. I used the star punch, which is really cute. So this punch is, if you don't like the stamp set, the punch is worth getting because you could do, like I said, so many other things with the punch versus just stamping out the stamped image. So sometimes you may not like the stamp set, but the punch is really nice. I used 2 different stamp sets because I'll show you my other projects. This one was for the secondary project that you guys don't have, but I'll show you it. It was Halloween inspired, but this is the one that we're using, is Sweet of Stars. So this is like the gingerbread cookie. This is Santa Claus, and this is Mrs. Santa Claus. Has a really cute snowflake, one that would be really cute to put in corners because it's kind of shaped to fit in a corner. And it has some really cool sayings, and this is the words we were using. Wishing you a jolly Christmas. Like I said, you're gonna need a lot of dimensionals. And the real red is what I used, black, and the light shade of spruce. And of course, Daffodil Delight in yellow. I would go probably for the darker one. And then I did a skin tone color, and I did pink for the cheeks. If I find my skin tone in here. This one is SU 700, but you could use ivory or whatever skin tone you want for the Santa. And these are just for the other project I was working on.
Sorry, Kim, which yellow is that? Daffodil Delight?
Pardon?
Which yellow was that?
This one is Dark Daffodil Delight.
Okay.
And I use light and dark blends for real red. Get my dark one out. And I use, for the cheeks, light bubble bath. But you could use Flirty Flamingo too if you don't have that one. I use the dark basic black for his belt and boots, and light shaded spruce for the little mittens, just for a little added color. So you're gonna have your ribbon. You're gonna have this long piece of vanilla with the words on, which you're gonna just flag the end. If I could find my scissors. Which is like, you do it with a punch if you want, but this is just as quick and just as easy. And that's all you gotta do for your end, and we'll put that off to the side. And the colors I used are very vanilla for the greeting. And I use Crumb Cake for 2 stars. I use Garden Green for 2 stars. I use Basic Black for 3 stars. And of course, you're going to have your little Santa that's stamped in memento on basic white. Then you're going to have for your DSP colors, I did 2. Just slowly take this off. The green ones with the little, I don't know, what asterisks or stars is from Take a Bow DSP 6x6. And that's 3 of those. And then you're going to have 2 of these sort of like beige, and on the other side you have like that, I don't know if you can see it, but it's really shiny gold on it. I use the other side. I want the flatter side. I don't want the shiny gold, but it's up to you. And that's from the Season of Elegance DSP 12x12. So those are the colors and the DSP I used. This we've already done. And so what I did first is coloring, because I just find it more relaxing to do the coloring first. And it's not a very big image, so it kind of goes really quick. So I just kind of colored his little face with the skin tone of your choice. And that's it for that. And then I come in with my bubble bath. I always like using the blunt end personally, but that's a choice for me. I find I have better control over it. And then I just come in and do little circles for his cheeks. You don't have to do that, but I just think it's kind of cute. It's just a very subtle look. You're not gonna, it's not like going to jump out at you or anything. But you could just see little pink by his eyes there. And then I did the real red, and I start with the light first. And I just kind of, I don't color it all in at first because I'll be coming back. And then I'm just going to kind of do an outline really quickly. Underneath this belt is a bit of a chunky Santa. And then this upper belt. And this would be really cute if you still had that puffy paint that we had that you heated up. You can make his beard all puffy. Or you could make it glittery. You could just add some sparkles to it if you wanted a little bit more, especially around the hat and the cuffs of his coat. Then I'm going to go with my dark real red. And I'm just going to kind of go where I just traced, get it a bit darker. And I find when I do this, it doesn't bleed so much into the other thing because it kind of gets soaked up with the other ink I already put down. Around the beard, because of course it's going to be darker where the shadow is. And then his belly. So now it kind of looks kind of freaky, but then I come back in with my light, and that's where I'm going to fill them all in. Heart, little arms, and that's where you just go over where you just did the dark, and it just blends it in a little bit better. And I like doing in circular motion. I don't know about you, but I really like that sound the markers make. And because you left that little bit of white, it does make that light red a little bit lighter. You can kind of see like a little halo or a shadow effect in your coloring. So that's what I did with the red. And then I did the Daffodil Delight just, and this one you just want to gently tap because it's very small area for the little golden belt buckle. And then with the green, I just did because he has little mittens on. You can make his mittens any color you want, like if you wanted them yellow or black or whatever. But I just thought bringing, if I had garden green marker, I would have done that, or I could have done it, I guess, with the Snap and Write marker too, if you wanted to match it up. But I just did the light spruce. And then I took my black, and I don't, it's not too, like it's a belt, so I'm just going to go right over that curved line because it's just a belt. It doesn't matter. And you'll see it once it dries anyways. You can always use the light black if you want a little bit lighter look. And do inside the buckle. And then don't forget to do his little boots at the bottom. Now for the beard, you could do a couple things. You could go in with Smoky Slate, or you can go in with Light Pool Party. That's just a personal preference, or you could leave it as is and call him done for the day. With the gray, I would just do like a light outline of it, so that just gives it a little bit more texture, or like a little bit better, not better, but see how it gives it just a little bit of different look to the mustache and the beard when you do it with gray. And you're not coloring it in, you're not filling it in, you're just kind of doing the edges. But you could do that also with Pool Party. So that's your personal choice, or do none. I'm going to do none this time, but those are two choices I would pick on. And that's it for the coloring part. So we can put him off to the side. And this we've already done, so do that again. So then I'm going to take my template. And this doesn't have to be super perfect because you're not good. The point is you don't want to see your template. It's just to help you get so you have that circular shape. Because we always, I know I've tried, like I could do it on my own, and then you realize, oh, it's all wonky. So this is just sort of like a guide to hopefully get you a little bit more of a roundness to your wreath. And it also gives it a little bit more stability as well. And then you could also put a hanger or something on the back of it so that you could hang it up. And I just use the back of my ESP 12 by 12 paper, the covers and stuff that I had left over, or whatever scraps I had, is what I use for that template. So I'm going to take, I'm not sure which colors would be better to show. Yes. So I just put my stars off to the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your little star, and now you can change it up if you want, because you also have this color on the other side of this star. So if you don't like that color, you can certainly make it a little bit different with the polka dots. That's totally up to you. Like I said, the other DSP is this one, and you just flip it over and have more of a shiny gold. If that's the look you want, that's totally up to you. But what you're going to do is you're going to fold this two tips together, like so, and pinch it. And then you're just going to work your finger down gently. And this is where you're going to need your bone folder. And then you're just going to gently, this is on the DSP one. So you have to be a little bit more gentle on the DSP because it is thinner than the cardstock. And you're just going to fold it like that. Then you're going to open it and you're going to do the next two. And you pinch it again so that you can just carefully work your way down. Do that again. And you keep doing it till every single edge has been folded. So again, you're doing that. Careful pinching with your finger. And now then I come back. And I want to fold it so I know I didn't do that one. Kind of hard to find them sometimes. This one I didn't do. Especially on the darker colors. But you might have done this before in the past with our bigger stars. What you're basically doing is making your flat star into like a 3D star. You just want to reinforce all your folds. So it's going to look like this. And then you want to go in and you're going to fold all those folds. So it looks like a little triangle, and it will be pretty poppy. Likes to pop out. This one has glue on the back. But that's how you got to get that from flat to 3D look. That you want to make sure that you have a point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points up, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points down, if that makes sense. So these are the points that are up, and then here is the point that is down, because you're squishing it together, right? So that's your down point here, and then you have your two up points squishing together. And so that's how your star is going to get more 3D-ish look. And that's what you do for every single one of them. The cardstock ones are a little bit more tricky because you have to it is stiffer. So you just want to take your time and pinch gently and then come down and reinforce that crease like that. And then you're going to go to the next ones. You can line them all up nice. Next two. Once you do one, it actually is really easy. The rest come together pretty quickly. Gently squish. Down. So it looks like that. And then that's where you're just going to work your, with the thicker paper, you can't always get it like the DSP. So you just do it in sections. Just reinforce those folds. Like so. And there's your little star. And in our cardstock. So then once you get those all folded, I did 6 dimensionals high. So this is going to take a lot of dimensionals. Or if you happen to have others, I know other people might get brands from other places and stuff like that for other reasons, for other purposes. And if they're a thicker dimensional, then that might work better for you. But I did a stack of 6. And then that's how I made it up so that it would pop up like it does. And I just basically did 1, and then I wanted to make sure that the next one would be just kind of overlapping a little bit. Like you don't want to cover the whole star. You just want to, so I just kind of maneuvered it, but you don't want to see the white either. So you just kind of manipulate or move around your star in any way that's going to make that work. And I did the pattern that they had on the brochure. So I started with my black star. I glued it down. Then I put the crumb cake star. Then I did the green DSP with the little sparkles or little whatever that is. Then I did the beige with the gold, and then I did the green, and then black, beige, and so forth, so forth. And then once you're done coloring your Santa Claus, you're going to take your ribbon, and I find this easier if you just kind of do this. You just loop it like this and pinch it with your finger. So you pretend you're going to make a bow, but you're not tying any knots. You're not twisting anything. You're just doing a figure. You're like, here's half. You have a little of a tail, and then I'm going to fold the other half over, so I have a little bit of a tail, and that's my ribbon. Then I'm going to take my star with my Santa, and then on the back, all I'm going to do, you do it with our tear tape. You could do it with this type of tape too, because all you're doing is wanting it to be adhered, right? It's nothing fancy about it. Then you can pick up your Santa and see where your tail went, because you don't want to lose your tail, and you can adjust it until you get it the way you want. And then if it's the way you like it, then you come back with the tape and tape it to the back. Like so. So then it's not adding any bulk to your Santa either, it's just there. And then you're going to do, I would say 2 to 3 dimensionals on the back, and then you're just going to place it right on top of your wreath. And then you're going to need your bone folder for your words. And what you're going to do, you're going to take the word with the flag in, and you're going to curl it up like a snake tongue. So it's like, looks like that. And then you're going to take it away from you, and then you're going to curl it kind of backwards towards you, so that it's like an F. So you have the curve coming up and then down. And then you can go back again and curl it up again. And I made these super long because I wasn't sure how you guys wanted it. So once you figure out where you want to put your greeting, then you can trim down the end off of it, like so, and then put your glue dot. And I just tucked it right underneath there. And then I put a glue dot on the end and tucked it and made it stick to the top of the star and the wreath. Basically it. In a nutshell. Like I said, I would later go back and hot glue it all just to make sure that it stays in place. Just because over the, like I did this probably this week, and over time it's just been coming off because my base is so cold. But your guys' house might be a different temperature, so you might not have a problem, but I found that I did.
Oh, I will. I will definitely be glue gunning.
But like I said, the majority of the time is, and it's not a lot, but it's just folding your little stars. But they're cute, and it'd be cute to put on like a a little string behind them, and then you can make a little garland with them and have like little fuzzy balls or anything like that. You can think of all the little things you could do with them. But I'll show you my Halloween version. And I kept this with stars flat. So don't think you can only do this way. You can just keep them like this with not, like, see how the difference in size they look when you do them like 3D-ish? Isn't that crazy?
I
And so
don't
this
like the
is
star
my
punch, but I like your stars.
and that's the Halloween version of The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I use Granny Apple Green, Pumpkin Pie, Basic White, Gorgeous Grape, and then I stamped, well, I just cut out a circle and I drew this myself. There's no stamp for this guy, for Jack. I made the cookies into Oogie Boogie and I used Granny Apple Green blends, but mine were drying out, so it would look better with a brand new one because we had firmer, darker color. And then I just took the little lady, Mrs. Claus, and I just stamped her memento, but then I wiped off the apron because you didn't want the apron. And then I just drew a little belt line and then sectioned her off into her clothing sections and colored that. And she, of course, she's dead, so she's pale blue. And then these stars, which is kind of a neat idea, it's just a white star. And then what I did is I took my Memento Black ink pad and I stamped it on half of the star over and over again until it got solid black. And then I took my right marker, like my black one, and I just drew lines. So you don't always have to have a stamp set. And then on some of them I did use, and that's where I said I had that secondary stamp set because I wanted the spider web. So I stamped like some of the spider webs on the green pages. And then some of the green, I didn't have current apple green DSP around, so I just used last season's DSP that matched. And I just cut it in half and then put half of it on the star. So it just gives it a little bit different look to the stars so they don't all look exactly the same. And so that's another version. And this was, I got this idea from the site. I can't remember her name, but she did it as a scrapbook page. So this was on a 12 by 12, so it was a little bit bigger, obviously a little bit more rounder. And then she had like her pictures of cookies that she had done for Halloween and stuff like that. So she had more cooking theme going on, but I just like the idea of making it a different holiday season instead of just a Christmas season, just by changing up the stamp sets a little bit.
Yeah, very creative, Kim. It's super cute.
And that's, so like I said, you have another option. If this is not your jazz with the 3D, you could always do the flat stars too. It's just you might need a few more of them just to cover the area.
I love the 3D stars. I just think you might have to show us again how to make them.
Okay, I'll do it on the. Which color was better? Was it better seeing it on the dark green or was it better on a light color?
Yeah, I think green shows up really good.
Okay. I'll do green again. So you basically just have to keep going from, I do 2 points together. Then I pinch in the middle because it gives me, stability. And then I just gently, because I want to get these lined up edges, I don't want them off too much. And then I just gently push until I feel like this post. And then I put the force in my thing, in my foam folder. I open it up and I twist it to go to the next 2. And you want to line those up really, really close. And again, you're just going to manipulate that paper till you get onto a surface where you have some force. And then you're going to open it up again. Then I'm going to flip it again to the next 2. And because you'll know you haven't done it right because every point should have a line through it. And you won't be able to fold it like this if you don't have your lines. So if I fold this flat, see how it's got all the lines? So it's like, there's a line, there's a line, there's a line, and then you have the lines going in between. And you'll know if it's not right because you'll have an area that's all plain, like not folded, and you're like, oh, I missed a fold. So it will only do this if it's actually got all the lines. See here, you can see I got a line here, line here, line here. But see, this is all one solid piece. So that means I still have folding to do because I haven't got them all, if that makes sense. So then you just keep going and manipulating it and stuff until, and if you've already folded the area, you'll know that because it will fold easily on itself. If it's an area you haven't folded, it's going to be like all the other ones you have to work a little bit at. You just keep going. And it does break down the paper a little bit. So it does, after you get to like the last fold, it does, you can tell the paper is getting a little soft, if that makes sense. So you might want to be a little bit more gentle on your last crease.
I'm curious, does
Oh, I
anyone have
know.
all their
They have
stars folded
lines.
already?
And so now I have all the lines. I can see that now. So I know I haven't missed any folding. So when I do that now, I'm going to just reinforce it, and I'll just, because the cardstock's a bit thicker than the DSP, so I can't do the whole thing in one. So I'll just like do sections where I just fold it in on itself, and then the high peaks go together. And it will just do that automatically. There's like when you do it, it will just fold like an accordion. It will just want to do that. And when you do that, it just makes it a little bit more pliable and playable.
Mhm.
And then it pops up a little bit better. And that's how you do it. So now you can see I have all those fold lines.
I see, I see. Is there anyone here who's got all their stars done already? Okay, good. Thought I was just behind. No,
But
that's
like, this is the part that takes the most time, but it's something you can do in front of the TV. You can sit there and like it's not something you have to concentrate too hard in doing, because you're just folding. And
right.
the stock will let you know when you folded everything properly in the first place, because there will be no fighting against you. It will just fold in on itself, right? Because you've already done it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it will just keep going. So like while you're watching the hockey game or whatever, you can sit there and fold stars. And like even putting it on the reef. Once you get all your like you count out how many stars you have, I would just do stacks of 6 and set them on my glass mat, and then just pry them off and stick them on. And then it's like an assembly line. It will go a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If you have your hot glue gun ready to go at the same time, then it's just like glue and stick, glue and stick. I just always find like it's the last fold that's always a little bit more uncooperative.
I don't know, your stars just look nicer. Is it because
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, I know. I'm like, why don't my stars look like your stars? But maybe it's because I'm missing one. That's why. How many folds should there be? 5?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, there
One,
should be 10 actually.
4,
So
5
one in the
high.
middle of it.
You got 5 of these ones here on the high side.
Like 5 folds.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have the belly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Yeah.
total of 10, but
But 5
5
folds.
up and 5 down.
Okay.
Like I said, you'll know because you should have literally in each point, you should have 3 score lines because you're gonna have from where the middle meets to the middle, from the point to the middle, and to the other dented edge to the on each petal or each star point. So if you have all that, then it should fold perfectly. If you have something that's solid, then you haven't folded it. You missed a fold.
Yeah,
So
like I see one of my petals is missing a line in it. So somehow I missed it.
So you just gotta go, and then it will, like I said, you'll figure out. It's like, oh, there it is, because your cardstock will like, yeah, no, I don't want to fold there,
Yeah, you're right. It's just getting through. Yeah.
and so that's what.
It'll come and it will look like that.
So there's the basic beige. I don't know. That's a little bit better to see than the green, but
What about the black?
I could do a black.
Show us all of them. Give us more time to get through this.
But I haven't seen a video on this. There might be one on YouTube, but I haven't. When I was doing this, I didn't notice anybody do this wreath at all. So I don't know if no one's done it or if I just couldn't find it.
Or you're just creative.
And stuff. Because I know people used to do that folding of the stars when we had those other shaped stars and made ornaments out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the 2 stars together and make one big star.
I don't know. I don't like the star just for a star punch, but I would buy it to do this. I really like the look of your stars. Now, if I could get my stars to look like your stars. But you're right, that last one is a little bugger.
Yeah, that's, and you know, like, okay, I've gone to the last part because it doesn't want to work. Being stubborn. it's the parts that you've already folded are like, yeah, okay, I know what we're doing. And then that one point that hasn't been bent doesn't want it bent.
Seriously. Well, basically, it's like point to point, point to point.
Just kind of doing an accordion, like you're squishing those two top points together and giving it that extra press, and you work your way all the way around, and that's what makes it a little bit more sturdy. And there's the black version.
Two.
See that very well. So there's
Three.
the only thing that's different is the DSP ones are a little bit more delicate versus the cardstock. So those ones you just want to be a little bit gentler when you're folding them. This is no different than when we have our DSP and a scoring thing. And you don't want to score too hard because then you'll cut through the paper.
Right. Okay, and while we're folding, maybe I'll just ask too, because the cutoff I know is kind of gone in common. I just wanted to find out if anyone was going to be around and interested in doing that trunk or treating at the end of the month.
I like the idea. I don't know if I would be ready for it.
Okay. We can do it next year. We only have one person signed up, so I just wanted to check.
Oh yeah, and you guys also got your little treats in there. It has one of my favorite treats are those Reese's. I apologize if anyone has a peanut allergy, but that's one of my favorite treats, so that's what I got in there. Are there Halloween versions in there? The little spiders and ghosts and pumpkins.
Yeah, I don't think anyone on our team has allergies, do they? Do you guys? Are you guys allergic to any food items?
No. They were delicious, Kim.
And that was a cute little box. I put the lady
Yeah.
that wanna. She's on YouTube. It's a really simple box, and I like that box because first of all, Cajun Craze gets ignored a lot, so I thought I'd bring out that color. And I was using the 6x6 DSP that's on the online order.
The iconic celebrations.
Yeah, and it has a variety of different holidays in there, so I just wanted to bring out the pumpkins and stuff like that. So that's why I used that. And then, of course, it's a good thing to use your closures. You could use magnets. You could use, I use the Velcro dots from the dollar store or Dollar Tree. And but yeah, I find the DSP ones a little bit easier to do. Like they keep their crispness a little bit better. So that's the DSP version.
And I'll switch over to that. We'll see how that works.
And stuff. But yeah, but once you do a few, like it becomes really simple. You don't even think about it. You just fold, and your hands will feel it. You'll know when something's not wanting to cooperate, and it's like, okay.
I want to know who the first one to finish folding their stars is.
I'm done.
Liar.
Keener.
Oh, sorry, people, I'm done. Wait. I'll show you. I just got to figure out how to turn this around. Hang on, pups. My dogs need to go out. Okay, where you go. And no eating leaves. How do I turn this darn thing around? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, my DSP looks just as bad.
They don't need
Impressive, Sue. Impressive.
I couldn't figure out how to, my camera won't turn around, so.
But they don't need to be perfect either. Even if you have a wonky corner or a star doesn't turn out, you just tuck it underneath the one that looks nice when you put your wreath on. So then you never see that gimpily, weird folding
Yes.
that didn't quite go well.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. No star is. I just find the more you reinforce those folds, the better they're going to pop up. And I find fingers do a pretty good job when you squish them together, like because your fingers are gentle and stuff like that. And there's another DSP one. That's a pretty good one. So yeah. So then you could, this one I use white dimensionals, but you could probably use black ones so that you would maybe see the dimensionals so much. It all depends. These are my tiny ones. I don't want those. You want the bigger ones, like these ones, the regular size dimensional. Or like I said, if you had like, I know other stores sell like the thick, or you can even, you know, like the sheets we have, the dimensional sheets. You can cut those up because I think some of our, I know paper pumpkin dimensionals tend to be a little bit thicker than our regular ones. So it all depends what you have. And just build it up. Like you may not want yours 6 high. Maybe you only want yours a couple high. But I just find that distance from where you have the center to where it's flat is quite deep. See my finger, I'm trying to like, where my finger's straight is where it's flat. So like that's a lot of space to try and fill with something. So that's why I chose 6 dimensionals.
Gotcha.
So like this project does take a lot. So
But it's worth it. It's actually really cute.
and what's nice is because our dimensionals are all the same size, it's very easy to build one on top of each other like a little pancake.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just take that paper off. Another little layer on. Grab another one. And what's nice because they are the same size, they're all going to be a really nice stack. Like there's not going to be all really wonkus. So you got to have a little bit more stability, in my opinion. That's 5. I need one more.
This is why I need to count. I need to count the 5 folds because then I'll know I'm good. I seem to all of them. I missed that 5th one.
So then I'm just going to take the sticky end, and this is where I would also, if you had the hot glue gun on, put a little dab of hot glue in the star so you're not burning your fingers, and then I would put the dimensional into the glue. So it's like this in the middle of your star. So then your fingers are safe, or as safe as they can be with hot glue. And then what I would do, I would also take off the backing of this one. I would put a little dot of hot glue on here. I'm not doing it right now, but you guys all know how to do that. And then I would just find a spot and stick down. Because when you push it down, it's going to go a little bit flatter. And that's how you're going to attach. And that's how I started with the black one. And I just went and looked at my, everybody has the catalog, so you can take the catalog and just follow their pattern. It's how I did mine. So then the next one was the beige, or the crumb cake. And it was cardstock. So this is cardstock. And then I just did that, but I don't want to see that white. You know how you see the white? I don't want that. So then I just kind of mounted it so it kind of climbed over top of the star so you don't see your wreath part. And you just keep continuing. And you do the whole wreath first. And once you got the whole wreath, then you come back with your little Santa. And you could decide maybe you want your Santa in a different spot. It's up to you. And then you just put him on top. So he's going to be floating basically on 2 stars like that. So your dimensionals are going to have to be placed accordingly. Like you don't want it over on his arms because his arms aren't going to be touching anything and stuff. So you want it to be probably his head and his belly, like crotch area. And then once you got that, and then that's when you can manipulate your greeting and decide, because you have room, you can slip that off. And even if you want to, you can just slightly raise them a little bit, and then you can put your greeting underneath him. That's why I gave you such a long greeting, so that you have a little bit more playroom in how you want to place it. And then just to keep this from flapping all over the place, all silly, I just put a glue dot or a couple of them, and I just squished it onto the middle of the star so that it's stabilized. Like this one here. So then when you lift it and you're folding it, it's not coming off or, you know, bouncing all over the place. And that's it. There's no embellishments of any kind. You certainly could put some if you want to on there. And then, of course, at the back, you can certainly add some of our twine. We have all this great heavy-duty twine, like it's a thicker twine, which is the in colors, but I think the gray would look good. And then we have other colors, too. But you could even use ribbon, some really pretty ribbon. Like you would take our check ribbon and add a little bow at the top of your hanging part if you want to put that on. So like, I mean, you can certainly go crazy from base point to when you finish it. Move all my garbage off to the side.
They're starting to look like real stars. Has anyone given up because they're frustrated? I hope not.
Like here, you could add some of the same ribbon or black ribbon or whatever to the back. So then you have like a loop. So then you can hang up your wreath as well. And you could do that. I would probably maybe staple it before you put the stars on. So then it's like really stable. And then you're covering up the staples and you're not going to see them. So then
Oh,
you have a hanger.
idea. Has anyone started assembling already?
I didn't think of that till just now. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that.
But yeah. I'm definitely going to come back and do the hot glue for the rest of mine. But this is a cute gift. Like, I don't know if you have family members in a home or anything, and they always have little signs on their doors.
Oh,
And you could make it up for your mom or your grandma or whatever, or aunt, uncle, whatever you happen to have in that place. And they have like something festive on their door for the holiday. And it doesn't take up a lot of room because usually they don't have a lot of space. It'd be cute to put on a wine bottle.
what's that?
It'd be cute to put on a wine bottle, like put a loop and just hang it off of a wine bottle.
Yeah, or a gift.
Yep. You can end up making a little box to match.
You're giving us all kinds of ideas. Does anyone have this bundle? That they can make more? No one?
A cute bundle. I say the punch is worth it. I know maybe the stamp set is maybe not everybody's taste because that cookie is a bit creepy. But like you can work around it, right? You can make it into something else or that type of thing. And I think it would be cute even if you punched holes in them and make like a little banner for like cheer trays or anything like that, or on a little Christmas tree. You can make little ornaments out of each of the images.
Yeah.
And it has cute things.
Here's another fun fact while we're doing this. They were saying that they're kind of slow in the picking department at Stampin' Up. Slower than normal. But they said that last week, or no, I guess this would have been the week before last. I don't know what day it would have been, but it was their busiest day in history. They picked 70,000 orders. 70,000 orders. Is that not insane? Can you imagine?
How many they got wrong?
Is that one of the sale days?
Oh, that bet you that was the sale day. You're right. That probably was.
Thing or whatever, yeah.
I was like, that is unheard of. And it was to all of them. They were like, everyone was in awe. But that's worldwide, don't forget.
Right.
Or whoever does the picking out of that office. Someone was telling me too that apparently Ireland, they have only 10 demonstrators. It's a small office. They're growing.
That's very small.
Isn't it?
So I ran all my stars through the scorer.
Okay, did that work?
Yeah, super easy to fold them.
Like through the scoreboard?
Yeah, through my scorer on my Stampin' Trimmer. I just put the point of each star like right at the end
Yeah.
where it can just the tip of it can go through, and then lined up the crease at the bottom with the scoring line, with the cutting line, and
Yeah, well,
boom.
good job. You're number 2 to finish. Who's gonna be 3?
No, I'm not finished.
I got all
folding.
my stars. I'm putting them on my wreath now.
Oh, okay. Deborah's done. That's all I want to know is who's done folding their stars. I'm on my last one. Now that I figured it out. I'm just slow. It took a while. That fifth one that's still causing me grief, but whatever. Is anyone going away for Christmas?
Not 100% sure.
Possibility.
Mhm. Haven't been home in a year, so probably should.
Sure, your mom would appreciate that.
Just hoping it's not going to be horrible weather.
What's that?
Just hoping that we'll have good weather. We tend to have the crappiest weather when we travel. Like the travel gods are like, no. At least we're not Florida. That's awful.
Oh god. Ugh.
So Tricia, was the retreat you originally had planned in March, was that at Gull Lake?
No, the Barn Loft Inn in Bakerville.
Oh, all right.
No, Gull Lake needs us to now sign a contract that will have a minimum of 20 people.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember now.
And that space just doesn't even, that's too
Because I
small.
was talking to Kelly and she's like, wasn't it at Gull Lake? I'm like, no, I don't think so.
No, but I had to cancel it because it's the same weekend as.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying for the 26th, 27th because where we were, I had asked him to reserve the date and he never did get back to me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm working on a couple others. Oh. The problem is that I need to find someone who's willing to work with me based on the size of my group. Like I'm happy to pay them more, like based on a per person rate, but I can't be like, yeah, I'll rent your hall for $800 and then only have 9 people.
Mm-hmm.
But the nice thing is that I've been hanging out with scrapbookers lately, and so they've given me some ideas of places we could potentially go. So I'm going to check into a few of them.
So you don't have anywhere, oh, you do have Vegreville booked though for March?
No, I had
Oh,
to
you
cancel.
don't. Okay. Oh, because you couldn't get the other weekend.
No. Yeah, she's all booked next year. Like she had no other dates in 2025. Do you have any recommendation on where to start, Kim? And which color to start with?
I started with the black star, and I started at the upper.
So if I start with my crappiest black star, that might be a good one.
Yep.
My first one that's mutilated.
And then you're just going around and around. And like I said, I use this pattern, which is in the catalog. So I started at this corner, upper corner with the black. Then I went with the beige. Then I went with the DSP, which is this one here. And then I went with the next DSP one, which is the beige DSP with the gold. Then garden green. Then I did black, beige again, garden green DSP, black, garden green, and then the beige. And you just basically want the peaks. Just you don't want to see the ring that you're building it on. Just peak under peak.
Okay.
But that's the pattern I used. And like I said, the wreath just gives you that formation so that you're maintaining that circle. And if you find that you should have enough stars because it worked for me. But if you find that you don't seem to, then you might want to rearrange your stars because you either have them overlapping too much, or if you have stars left over and you have a lot of white space, then you didn't obviously put it, space them out properly.
Got it.
And you could do this with any colors, any DSP. You can certainly jazz it up with like a Stella spritzing or whatever.
Right.
A good baby wreath too.
Hey, for our team wrap up party in December, I'm thinking of asking everyone to bring like one dessert or cookie. Like, kind of like what you'd see in a cookie exchange, Christmas baking. You think? Like just enough for however many people are coming, just for us to all eat and sample. Would you guys be up to that? Or no one wants to bake?
You don't have to bake, you can buy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactamundo. That's what I'd be doing. No, not true.
Oops.
Or is that a signal that no one wants an in-person stamp together? They prefer an online one. I probably should do that vote.
Trisha, what was the date again in December?
It is.
Or were we doing it in January?
No, we did have a date in December. And it's the 15th.
Sunday? Okay.
Sunday the 15th.
Under-
Oh, Kim, this is just the cutest thing ever. I'm a folk art person though, so I totally love this stuff. Does anyone know anyone that has an engraver?
No.
Any what?
An engraver?
Oh, I think there's an engraver in town.
Oh, I should look at the Leduc one. Yeah.
I don't know anyone who actually has an engraving machine or engraving tool, but I know I think it's by our mini mall in town, like downtown, by the sushi factory it's kind of like in those little mini malls over there by the pet everything.
Yeah, like by that
Jackie Jill Play School. It's like all these little things in there. It's right across from our only mall in town. At least it was there last time.
across from the mall?
Yeah, we have like the downtown mall where there's mostly like doctor's offices and stuff like that where Rexall Drugs is. And right across is like a bunch of strip
Yeah, where
mall.
the print copy shop is.
Nope, across the street from that.
Oh.
But kind of in that area.
Okay.
So there's the two wreaths. One I haven't really fastened down yet, and one that's needs to be hot glued.
I'm just sad because I found a sleeve of black dimensionals that were part of a kit. But I'm almost done them. So they are thicker than the normal ones.
Yep. So they might be able to get away with 5 or whatever, but
Oh no, I'm doing the 6.
so that's project number 1.
Okay, well, the first person to finish, let us know. Let us know as you finish so that we can move on to the card. Actually, Kim, before you do your card, we're gonna play our game.
Okay.
I need to give away a prize.
What's nice about these stars, they stack nice too. So if you're not quite ready to finish it yet, you just stack all your little stars together into a little column.
Yeah, good point.
And then they're all together and you won't lose them. Little star stamp sandwich.
I'd buy it if I knew it would be in the next catalog. I might still buy it though. This is a folk art store.
Yep.
Oh, but when you make a mistake, it's not so easy to pull off.
You just have to be gentle about it. It comes off not too bad.
Come on. I just realized that I'm more homesick being.
There are my bits and pieces.
I'm done, but it doesn't look exactly like Kim's.
Well, let's see,
Exactly right.
Deborah. Of course it's not. It's your creativeness. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna replace the spotlight.
Oh, there it is. Cute.
Can you pull it back just a little bit? Yeah, they're perfect. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. That turned out great.
Yeah.
Some of the folds aren't exactly, some of them didn't want to cooperate.
You probably missed the 5th one like I did 5.
Yeah, I think on that one I went back and tried 3 times and I was like, okay, it's going on like that. Like enough is enough. It's cute though.
It is.
And I said, like, the more you do it, the better your folds will be and the quicker you'll be at it. And what's nice is, like, with a star punch, it's really quick to punch out a bunch of stars. Instead of a die where you have to crank all the time.
You got yours done yet, Sue? Might have had to leave. Oh, she's on mute.
Sorry, I realized I was reading my husband's message. So I had to mute myself. He's out of town.
Oh,
I
she's
just-
not gonna cook supper.
I just have to put the Santa on it. He's out of town. The internet went down this morning. So after about 6 hours, I asked this guy in town how to fix it. So he said, go down to your basement and do this to this panel and this to that panel. So I went down there and it's a good thing I did because our water tank was flooding.
What?
Oh.
Everything happens for a reason. That's so bizarre.
No,
Definitely.
the little hose that connects to from the water tank to the humidifier was spraying all over our electrical panel.
Oh my
I
God.
was
Oh,
freaking out because I couldn't get a hold of him because he was in a dead zone.
Oh
So I
man.
learned how to do a bit of plumbing today.
Good on you.
It's fixed good enough till he gets home.
But still, what a stress you didn't need.
Ugh. I literally called all my neighbors and nobody was around.
Oh no. Yeah, we had to get our furnace fixed this week, so that was fun.
Oh, at least before the snow came.
Well, it kept smelling like something was on fire in the house. We couldn't figure it out. It would smell really strong upstairs, and but not so much in the middle. And then sometimes it would be in the middle, and then in the basement it didn't smell, but then kind of did in the laundry room, but you're not sure. So you're like, okay, what's going on? So we ended up turning off the furnace for the last week and some.
Hmm.
Of course, it had to happen just before the long weekend, and nobody wanted to come out.
Oh.
Like, and luckily it wasn't freezing weather, so like, I mean, it was fine. Just wore slippers and a little bit warmer clothing in the house, but at least it wasn't minus 40.
True.
That would have been worse.
Okay, so I seem to got all my stars on, but with one, I have one extra.
Well, then you have one extra, or you could
So
like
do
shift
I.
a little bit.
You had one extra too, Sue?
Yeah.
Did I?
Oh, okay, good. Just means that we could have had it tighter, and if we needed to fill a gap, we have one for a gap up.
Yeah, or if you broke one when you were folding, you have an extra one.
Yeah.
Because no one but you knows the pattern.
Right. And you will need a piece of paper and a pen for our game. And you're going to write down numbers 1 to 8 if you're at the point where you can prep that.
Did you notice I did your tear technique on that paper for my cart?
Oh, no, I got to go back and look at that and put the names on the wheels. Thank you for participating. And how did you like that tear technique?
It was nice with that new paper, with that two-tone paper. I've done it before with regular paper and it always looks crappy.
Right.
Yeah. It's
What
weird.
number are we going to?
8.
Well,
8? Okay, thank you.
And then did you have tone to color the Santa, Kim?
Again,
Did you have skin tone?
my skin tone color was SU 700. But you could also use ivory too if you have that color or older color.
Okay.
You could use either one. They're very close. Ivory's maybe a little bit more creamier, like a little darker.
Oh, yes.
So it's up to you. But I use the US 700 or SU 700.
Thank you.
And I find that those in the catalog are hard to find, those skin tones, if you forget they're there, because they're kind of not with the other markers.
Right. Sorry, can you just put the wreath under the camera one last time? I'm about to mount Santa. Oh, see, that's my problem. I should have kept the black out so that I could mount Santa to it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But this is satisfying, so thank you for your patience, Kim, and letting us all finish this because
You're welcome.
who knows how long it would take some of us to get it done.
Yes.
So I hope everyone was able to do it. And if not, the video will be posted and Kim's already, put some stuff up about it.
Yeah, the picture's already posted. The only thing I left to post is the embossing technique cards that I did. Those I haven't posted yet. I just posted the recipe pages and the page out of the catalog.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I'm hoping that you guys will take a selfie with your wreath tomorrow or tonight, and then we can all have a picture. I'm so excited. Oh shoot, I need my little words in there. I absolutely love this project.
Yes, thanks to Stepping Up Artistic Team for putting it in the catalog.
Yeah, nice. My daughter used my glue dots today. Now they're not here. Do things ever just walk away for you guys?
Yep. I have a problem finding scissors all the time. They're always under something.
Oh my gosh, this is the most stinking cute thing ever. You guys let us know, because I thought I was pretty slow, so I'm sorry if I'm holding everyone up, but let us know when you're ready to play the game.
I swear the second project's not as hard.
Left the easy to the end, smart.
It's pretty easy, actually. It's a different fold. I have never seen this fold before, so I have no idea what to call it. I'm not even sure what the lady called it, if it was a particular, but it was just an interesting way of doing it, so. She called it a fun fold, but it's just a little bit different. Different size is maybe what's more different. Not maybe the folding, but the sizing. And we had Black Forest cake today to celebrate my dad's birthday, so that was yummy.
That is yummy. That must be a Saskatchewan thing then. That was my mom's favorite cake too.
Oh, really?
I hate it.
But I really like cherries. I love cherries, and my dad really loved cherries. So that was sort of it. His most favorite thing was the apple strudel, like really good apple strudel. I have yet to find a place that makes anything. Because if you have good, you can't go back to just dry old phyllo paper.
What's that stamp set called again, Kim?
That we used for the snowman or for
Yeah. Yeah, the star one.
the. It is called Sweetest Star.
Thank you. Are you guys good to move on? Are you guys all done yours? Or not quite?
I'm good to move on.
I'm
Yeah.
good to move on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, Kim, it's all yours.
Oh, you want to go?
We're playing the game. No, sorry, we're playing the game. So you guys all got your piece of paper and pen?
Yep, 1 to 8, right?
1 to 8, yeah. Okay. Let me just, I'm going to remove your spotlight. And we are going to,
We need our catalog.
nope. Got to use your brain for this one.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
boy.
Okay, we're going to play Name That Punch. Let's see how well you guys know your punches and the pieces that are within it. And the nice thing about this catalog is you can't just turn to a certain page and look at all the punches.
I know.
Although
that sucks.
I did hear feedback that Stampin' Up did miss the mark with this catalog. There's been a lot of complaints, and so we are going to notice a difference in the catalog that's going to come in January, the next catalog. So FYI. And I only know this from hanging out with a close to my heart demonstrator who's been part of the transition, who's
Oh,
been involved in many meetings and different things. So, okay. So we're going to start here with number 1. I mean, you can go ahead and guess them all. But there's just, so, some of our punches have multi-pieces. So some of them might just have one of the pieces that you have to try and guess. But we've got number 1 is right here. We've got number 2 here. We've got number 3. Let me spotlight it actually.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go.
oh, number 7.
See what you can find. And I'll just give you another minute. I need to find my husband, hoping he'll bring me some more ice. Tom.
Oh.
Tom, can you bring me some ice? Hey. Now, of course, I think I added one super easy one, maybe 2 super easy. The other ones you might be like, what?
Oh, number 4. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, 30 more seconds.
Number 6.
No pressure. And of course, I'm showcasing here our Take a Bow paper. If you were part of Stamp Camp this weekend with Brenda and I, you were lucky enough to get some of that paper in your box to play with. If you don't have it yet, it's on back order. It's unorderable at the moment. It looks like most of their unorderable items are coming back the week of October 21st, November 4th, and November 14th, I think. So if there's something you've been waiting for, just keep watching. Okay. Hands down.
Yeah, well,
Okay. What'd you guys get for number 1?
Hexagon.
Hexagon.
Hey, you guys are right. What about number 2?
truck punch. But I don't know if that's what it's called.
Yes, the
Yeah,
truck
that
punch.
trucking along.
Oh,
Trucking along, yeah. It's the truck punch. Hey, number 3.
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly.
It is called the Dragonfly Punch. And it's actually on clearance. It's in the clearance rack. It's cute. There was a coordinating stamp set at one time that went with it. Number
Bee-builder.
4.
Bee-builder.
What did you call it?
Bee-builder. 4 and 5.
Well, number 4 is not Bee Builder. Anyone else?
Oh.
Art and Home Punch or whatever that one is.
Humble
That's the
Home.
one. That's the one.
Oh.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
part of the Humble Home. And that punch is unorderable too, sadly. But if you were part of last month's bingo, you might have took it as part of the bundle. Okay, number 5. And
Bee.
Sherry, you were right. It was the Bee Punch. I've been using, like, does not look like a word bubble. It's not just the body of the bee. It's like,
That's
Yeah.
what I thought it was.
See, that's why I thought that one has a heart too.
yes, it does.
But
It's
it's
different size. It's smaller.
Yeah,
uh,
but
No, it's
some
bigger.
people have the bee punch too.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah.
What about number 6?
bow.
bow or bow?
Bow or bow.
You know what? I only just opened it for this particular exercise.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have that. I've never used it.
really?
We'll have to
Oh.
pull it out to use as fillers for things this year. Number 7?
Bottle
Mm.
punch?
The bottle.
Bottle punch.
Yes, the bottle punch. And it too is on the clearance rack. It's just a single all by itself punch. And then number 8,
Tag.
Love
Keeping
punch?
tags, tabs.
Tag.
keeping
Keeping
tabs. Chantel got it.
Ah, I got that one wrong.
Tabs.
So if we just put tabs, you don't get a point.
Well, no, it's got to be keeping tabs.
That's okay.
Give yourself, tally it up and put in the comments.
Chat.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to show you the prizes that you'll get to pick from. So we have here the Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. Perfect for all your holiday crafts.
It's pretty.
Or you might want to choose the Color Coach.
Ooh, that's
So I
nice.
don't know if you guys know, but this is on a pre-order for demonstrators this month. And starting November, this will be available to customers. And it's $17 Canadian retail. But it's like the cat's meow for helping to pick some colors in your projects.
I have it.
Awesome. Last but not least, you're going to play for a Snow Days scrapbooking workshop kit. So this is the new thing Stampin' Up! Is into. Yes, it's inspired from close to my heart into scrapbooking. It comes with everything you need to make a total of 6 pages. So it's 3 layouts, 2 pages that coordinate with each other. It shows you the picture of what they are, and it comes with everything you need. So there's sticker sheets, there's paper. I think there's even 2-tone. Oh no, there's no 2-tone paper in there, but it comes with photo mats. Let me just, when I say photo mat, so it's like if you don't have a picture yet to fill it in with, it comes with these really cute little inserts that you can put over top. So here's a sneak peek of scrapbook page we did at Stamp Camp this weekend using the decorative trees. But I absolutely love this because it has the size, it's got a little camera, so it's a reminder, it's a placement for your photo. So all of these kits come with that. And it also it provides all the materials that you need to put it together. And then this book is actually a little booklet that gives you the instructions on how to put it together and how to cut all the paper to maximize the paper. So it's an awesome kit. Those are the 3 prizes. Let's take a look. Who is our lucky winner? Who knows their punches the best? Well, we've got some ties. Aw, Sue. We've got Kim is tied with Sherry, I think.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we need a tiebreaker.
Oh my God, is that folder available now?
I don't know.
What folder?
That tree folder.
Oh,
It wasn't orderable for a while.
Oh.
You couldn't buy that suite.
I got mine right away.
Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna have to use the name wheel, I guess. That'll just be the easiest. And then we will do a draw for the other 2 prizes at the end. Okay, so we've got Kim, we got Sherry. And you're just playing on Make It Monday. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Kim!
Well, thank you.
Yay.
Which one would you like?
I'll take the scrapbooking kit.
Okay, that is yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. And I'm going to hand it back to you to.
Okay.
There you go.
So we're going to be working on this card, and it's funful just because it's different size cardstock, and you're using the sort of like it's a square as your main card, and this piece is just sitting there, but it still stands up. Maybe not like that, but stands up nice. And I think I put in my description on the Trish's page who I got the idea from. Hers was very fall inspired, and I started doing all my cutting, thinking, yes, that's what we're going to do. And then I realized I didn't have enough DSP to go around for everybody to have the same kind. So then I had to change it up because this is that take a bow 6x6. And what's nice about it is that you get lots of the same pattern. So this is great paper if you're doing like a group where you want everyone to have the same thing. It's really great to do like swap cards and you need everything to be the same. And you get a lot in here. Instead of having only 4 sheets, you have a lot more. So this is the DSP we're using. Take a bow or bow. The ink colors I'm using is Granny Apple Green and Real Red because that's what's in the paper. Well, this is online exclusive, this ribbon, so it's still current. I know it was last year or whatever, last catalog, but it's still current, and it's the dotted ribbon with the golden real red. And then I also brought in our new twine, which is white and red. And of course, can go without our little peppermint candy dot things, embellishments. And there are 3 sizes. You'll have a big, a small, and a medium. Your cardstock is 6 inches by 4.5 in Granny Apple Green. Then you're going to have a real red piece at 5.5 and by 4.25. Then you're going to have your DSP from that package, and you're going to have 3 different pieces. One at 4.25 by 4.25, one at 4 and 1 3/4, and one 4 by 1. And they're all 3 different patterns. That's your DSP. And there's that little piece of ribbon that you have. And then you're going to have white pieces, and I got these from the Iconic Die. So you have this kind of flag big banner piece, and then you have the little one for the greeting. Then you're going to have a piece of 4 by 4.25 just right, and that's for the inside of your card. And then you're going to have a piece of twine, which we're going to do double bow. And then you're going to have 2 pre-done little holly berries. They're really tiny. They look like that. You're going to have 2 of those. You're going to have 2 of these really, really delicate, tiny little gold sprigs. So you're going to have 2 that look like that. And then you're going to have 4 of these Granny Apple Green leaves. And what's neat about this, I don't know if it's just my stamp or if maybe my ink was weird, but it has a bit, it's like variegated. So when it's stamped, it was a bit light, a bit dark in some places. I don't know if that's designed to do it that way, or it was just my ink bed, but I really like the way that looked. So that's pretty cool. And so you have 4 of those as well in your kit.
So Kim, all of those are cut, all those dies are from the Iconic?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then I used the new embossing folder. It's that really big one. It's 6 inches wide by 8.5. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's that wood look. It's that wood grainy look. It came with the bird set. That's sweet.
Oh.
Yep.
I can't remember the name, but it's in the catalog. And so I use that to run the Iconic Die, the big one, through. So it's already pre done for you.
Oh, birchwood.
Birchwood.
Yeah, that's it. So I'll just move all this stuff off to the side. And then the stamps that I'm using is Iconic Imagery. And I use to celebrate the big word here. I used the little holly berry, and it comes with a filler, but I didn't use the filler. I just did the outside stamping. And then I also used the ampersand and also Peace and Joy. And this is where the leaf is. And it also has one that could fill it in as well, but I just did the outline stamp of that one because I thought it was really pretty. And then this is the set. It's actually a really cute set of dies that go with it. I like the fact that it comes with a really big label that's different than we've ever had before. And it comes with 2 little labels and then all the things for all the images, and then some extra ones like this little row of little tiny stars and this little sprig. Like there's just some little hearts. So it's like kind of like for all season. So it's a really good set for any of those other holidays too, not just Christmas. And those are the ones I was using. And then the gold sprigs, I used the 12 by 12, what is it called? Textured metallic 12 by 12. And it comes this gold. And if you look at it, it's kind of got lines in it. Like it's textured. Like looks like it's already been run through like an embossing folder. And it comes with gold, this kind of purpley silver color. And then it also comes with a copper. Those are the 3 colors that come in that 12 by 12 pack. So move all my stuff out of the way here. That. Move all this over here. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your card base and you're just going to fold it in half. And I don't like scoring things because I always have problems with it. And that's basically the start of your card base. You're just folding that in half. Then you're going to take your real red piece. Let's bring the card back in. And we're going to take our DSP, get those pieces. Try not to wreck it when I take off my sticky tab. And you're going to have
How long is this paper supposed to be?
Is it 9?
Oh, there.
Pardon?
Is it 9 length?
It won't fit in the envelope.
It should be a standard card size. I thought if not, then I guess you're not going to be able to fit in an envelope.
Oh. Yeah, because your card base is 6 by 4.5.
Oh,
And I
when
think
I
the envelope's certainly 5
put it
3/4.
1/2 by 4.5.
6 by 4.5.
Yep.
Well, it won't fit then because aren't the envelopes only 5 3/4 at max?
Oh yeah, 5 3/4. Yeah. Oh well, I just put an envelope in so everything was contained. Use the envelope for whatever else. You just
That's
have
okay. That's all right.
Or use a memories and more envelope if you have them.
or
Yeah,
make your own off the envelope scoreboard.
yeah,
Ah,
that's true. Look at all those options.
So you have the white part, which I've already pre-stamped for you. So you have on the edges your little twigs and your berries, peace, love, and joy in both the colors. You're going to glue that. You're going to place that just first here, and then I'm going to take this piece of DSP with the green stars again, which is the 1-inch piece, because it's going to be here. That's how that first piece is going to go.
Okay.
And that's just flat, no dimensionals, no anything. You're just putting that directly flat to the card base. You want to leave a little bit of a border. Like so. And then you take your DSP. You want to make sure you line that up with the white piece because you don't want your DSP too far high or too far low. You want it level. And just leave a little bit of space around it with the red showing. And to put that flat like that too. So that's how that panel will go. And then you're going to take your green, Granny Apple green. You're going to take your square and your other two pieces DSP, and what you're going to do is you're going to put that flat on flat in the middle of your square piece. And just because I didn't want to waste this much DSP, and I thought, hey, it fits, it works. And it adds another area of color. So you just put that on like so. And then we're going to get our red ribbon. And you could take tear tape. Get some here. And put it on the back of your ribbon. And make sure you press it really, really well. Because sometimes it's difficult to get the backing off on ribbon. Then pry off your backing. And then you're going to take that ribbon and place it in the middle. Or eyeball it. Press it down and then flip it over. Because you have the tape right on the other side, it should just stick right to the back of your DSP.
Great, Kim, you said there's 2 of these pieces? A big one and a little one? Oh, no, it's okay.
You only have 3 pieces of DSP.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good enough.
And a little bit bigger, and they're all different
Right.
patterns.
Yeah, gotcha.
So then once you get your ribbon on, then this is flat again. We're not putting anything on dimensional in here. And you're going to put that right on your Granny Apple green front. Make sure that you leave a border. Like so. So now you have that looking like that. And then we're going to
Is
take,
it opening from the bottom, Kim?
yep, you're going to like this. You're opening up. So when you open it, then you're going to take your adhesive and just going to put it in the middle. You don't want it anywhere near the edges of the inside. It's like when you open up your card, it's like, hello. Well, you're just going to put your adhesive right in the middle. You don't want anything close to edges. Because then we're going to take that red panel that we just finished building, and you're going to put it in and give it a, make sure that you see green on all the sides of 3, but not this side, obviously. And you're going to press that in. So that's how that piece goes in. So you see that bit of green on this side, on the bottom, and of course at the top. This part doesn't matter. And then when you close it, you can't see anything that you did on the inside. You just see that little piece of DSP showing. When you open it, it's like, oh, there's the greeting, but it's just a different way of doing it. So it's like a
That's cool.
stands up. So then after that, it's just doing the decorating part. And the reason why I picked this set to do this is because on Trish's thing, it says, like what meeting each month is kind of like the theme is. Well, she had two that kind of were conflicting. One was scrapbooking and one was celebrate. So I didn't know which way to go. So I decided, well, we'll do celebrate. So that's why I picked celebrate. And so celebrate the season. I was going to do fall, but then, I had the paper issue. So we went Christmas. So this is the piece that I already pre-stamped in Real Red. It's already ran through the embossing folder. You should have the other little shape that has the season in Granny Apple Green. And then you have all your little bits. So this is going to be on dimensional. So you're going to get your dimensionals. And I kind of put them kind of where the curve is. Because I don't find that it goes well when you put dimensionals on ribbon. They don't stick well. It comes off easy. If you put it where the ribbon is going to go in the middle, it's just going to stick to the paper and it's going to be more secure. Unless you're going to use like liquid glue, then you can maybe put some liquid glue. We didn't want it bumped up, but I want the ribbon to go between those two V's in that. So I want the ribbon to show between those two V's there, a little bit of a V. And it's just a nice size that it fits right between that DSP too. That's on dimensional. Then we're going to take our season greetings. I'm going to cut this down a bit. I don't want a big one. Just a bit. I'm going to put that on this end because we're overlapping. So you only need this section here with a dimensional, and this can have tape runner, liquid glue, glue dot. And then you're just going to put it right off to the side, but you want to keep it on that green panel. So you don't want it poking over the edge. So you're just going over to the right there. And then this is where you get to, you get 2 leaves at the top and 2 leaves at the bottom. Now, sometimes you might want to cut off the stem just because it may not fit perfectly. And then you just want to tuck that underneath your greeting. You're going to do 1 flat and 1 propped up on dimensional. So, and then you're just kind of that. So there's the 2 on the bottom, just underneath that greeting. So the first one I put down is flat just with adhesive. This one I popped up on dimensional. We do the same thing with the upper corner. I'm going to put 1 at the top, just tuck it in. And if it doesn't fit because of a dimensional in the place or whatever, just cut off the stem. And I place that down. I put the next one. The dimensional. So you kind of want to overlap them. And because I have a dimensional in the way, I'm just going to snip off that tail. No one knows. And that's how that one goes.
Are both of those on a dimensional?
Nope, this one's flat. This
Okay.
one's on. Then you're going to take, well, where's my other little berry? It was here. Then you're going to take your little holly berries, and you can use a glue dot to attach those. They're pretty small. And then you can just attach them like at the bottom and at the top. If I could find my other one, I put it on there, but it was here. But anyway, you get the idea. And then your little gold sprigs, you're going to turn them over to the back. You're going to just gently put some adhesive. You can use liquid glue on this because it is kind of tiny. And that's where you're just going to tuck that in the bottom there. You just want it kind of underneath that greeting. Just poking out, and 1 at the top too. It's just like a mirror image. What you do at the bottom, you do at the top. Like so. And so then it kind of sticks out. So you have that little bit of shiny gold. And if I had my other berry, I would put it up here, but I can't find my other berry. So then you have your big candy dot or your peppermint. You put it up in that corner. Then you take your tiny little candy dot or peppermint and you just put it right beside, and then you put your medium on the DSP just below to celebrate there. So you have your medium one here and your large and your baby one here.
Oops.
And then you take your coin, fold it in half, hands meet. Then you're going to give it a cut because you want double bow. And then you just do your bow. Try that again. Doing bows on live is hard. And then you just, tweak it to how you like it. You can have big bunny ears or tiny bunny ears, trim off the excess. And then you got to use a glue dot again. And we're right on that corner. And that's where you put the corner, little double bow. And that's
It's only
Well,
so
that-
easy and simple because you stamped everything and prepped it all for us, Kim. So thank you.
Well, I didn't know who had the stamps and everything. Another thing that you could do that I was thinking about, you could do, you take your Wink of Stella pen and make sure you shake it up really well. And then what you could do, you could then come in and paint over the area that I've already pre-stamped, like I'm doing right now. And what happens, it not only adds the sparkle, but it drags that ink into the middle and it will make it look totally different. Same with the holly berries. It also makes them pink. So this one I didn't do it. I just did stamping, which is fine on its own. This one I just colored quickly with my Wink of Stella. See how it blends it a little bit better? So you can make it your own by doing that by a bit of coloring. Just with your Wink of Stella pen and stuff like that. And you can do that on the inside too if you want as well. And just a quick thing, I don't know if it was just my stamp set or whatever, but with these words, you had to be very, very careful when you stamp them, because if you weren't, this is what happens. Like you had to be just like the hairs, like just very light touch. So I'm not sure if it was just because my stamp set was that way, or if that's how it's made. I don't know. But just go into that knowing, like, be very light-handed on your stamping.
Can you zoom in? I can't really see that. Where do the berries go?
The berries go on the greenery.
Yeah, okay.
It's right underneath the word season, or wherever you put the little green, and the other one is on the opposite corner. It's just mirroring it. It's
Yeah.
just I lost my little piece on my desk of crazy, because I did have it at the beginning. But yeah. It's just a different card measurements and stuff like that. So no, it won't fit into your envelope, but
Well, it actually fits if you just can't fold the flap over all the way.
Just have to bend the fold to make it fit, right?
Yeah.
that's my last make and take. The rest is just demo.
Love it, Kim.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Okay, well, let's spin the wheel again, just in case some people have to go. Let's see who the lucky winners. Now, let's just make sure I have everyone's names on here who hasn't won a prize yet. I have Sherry, Chantel, Lorette, Sue, Karen, and Deborah. Am I missing anyone?
Karen? You have Karen?
What's that?
You have Karen?
Yep. Is there anyone else who bought a kit that maybe isn't on tonight?
You got Cheryl, yeah?
Yeah, Cheryl. She had a kit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have her name. And that's it. Okay. Well, if Cheryl wins, she'll have to be the last one. She'll get the last prize. Oh, that was a close one. Oh, I hear I'm sharing and you guys can't see. Sorry. Ah, I'm sharing the wrong. Well, we have a winner. I did spin it.
Winner. Okay, where is?
Here we go. It was Deborah. Yay, Deborah.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
And which one would
I'll
you
do
like?
the embossing folder. I don't have that one.
Oh, wow. Is it because
Thank
it was
you.
on back order?
I don't even think I ordered that one.
Okay, well, let's see who the winner of the color coach is. I've used this so much, and in the catalog, there are some great ideas. So, Lorette, you're the lucky winner there. I know she had to leave a little early, but congratulations. We'll mark your name on it and get that to you. Okay. Kim, I will hand it back to you.
So we're looking in our catalogs on page 128. And the techniques that we're doing is embossing, which is a silly page because a lot of us are pretty seasoned crafters. So, like, I mean, this isn't anything new to anyone. I don't know if I'm really bringing anything new to the story, so to speak. But the first one we're going to focus on is this one that has the little baby onesies on it. And so what they're basically showing you in this thing is those the embossing folder that's got all these different type of patterns on it. I don't have this one, so I used a different one. But what they're doing is basically using their blending brush and they're adding color to that pre-embossed image just to make that image pop a little bit. And they're using the blending brushes. So that's what they're focusing on, is the blending brush technique. And so my version is a little bit different just because I didn't have that stamp set or that embossing folder, but you could do this with anything. So this is my version of what they did. So I used the set that's still online. I've used this many times. It seems to be something I gravitate to all the time, the Warm Welcome stamp set. And the reason I grabbed it because it had these little baby shoes, and I thought they were really cute. And it said welcome, and I like the words little one. So that's how I made this into a baby card. And then I used the Eyelet 3D embossing folder for my background versus what they had in the catalog. So the card base is Calypso Coral. The ink I'm using is Calypso Coral on a Chorus Memento because we're using blends the color of the baby shoes. And then you're embossing with white. There's a bit of embossing as well. And the embellishments I used because I thought it looked good with the coral color was these adhesive back metallic gems in the copper, because the copper kind of went well with the orange tones, I thought. So that's what I did. So basically all you're doing is typical regular card base, fold it in half. And you have a piece of regular white. I didn't stamp or anything on it, but you could always put some other green that you have, you know, welcome baby or welcome whatever. Put that in. So it's always like having cards that are ready to go. I hate it when you grab a card and then you don't have the piece in the middle and you have to cut all that paper. It's just another thing I don't want to do. So that's the easy part of it. And then you're going to take your other white, same size as the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. Run it through your embossing folder. Any kind will work. Doesn't matter. You're going to take your Calypso Coral and your blending brush. And this is sort of like and what I like to do is I put it on my glass matte versus paper because I'm not wasting ink then, because I can always scoop up what's left over on the glass because it's removable. And then I just start off the edge, and I went dark in some places. I went really light in others, and I just kind of went all over the place. And then I kind of just quickly, just very lightly went over it. And like I said, I put more pressure in other areas. I didn't want it to be perfect. I didn't want it to have like color, like one solid color. I kind of wanted it like little, sort of like wallpaper kind of reminded me of, like you just have like little splotches of color. And then to make it shabby chic, because it is kind of a shabby chic card, you just take your scissors or your nails. If you have long nails, that would work too. Or if you have that Stampin' Up tool that we used to have a long time ago that would chew up your edges to make them all frayed, and you're just going all the way through the edges with your scissors and scraping it up, making little dents, bending it. And you're just going all the way around. You just keep going. Like I said, if you have really nice nails that are strong, you can do it. I do not. And stuff like that. And then you can just kind of bend up the corners a little, just make it a little bit like imperfect. So it's just kind of like that. And then you're just, I would suggest using a really strong adhesive when you do anything with embossing, because sometimes it doesn't adhere well to your paper. So like either like that, our stronger seal would be good, or tear tape I find, or liquid glue is always a number one to, that's always going to stick well. But for tonight, I'm just using my regular adhesive. And then you want to make sure you have your border around. So you put and you don't want it glued all the way to the edges, because you want those to be able to be popped up for texture and just a different look to things. You can squish it down a little bit if you don't want it too high, but you don't want it perfectly flat all the way around. And then what I did, I just cut a piece of Calypso Coral out of our punch. I can't remember the name of that. I think it's a fancy something label punch. Can't remember, but that's where I got this from. And then I just punched a circle in white using our 2-inch punch for the inside. So then you just have that over top. But before I did that, I just took the little heart. It's like a teeny tiny little heart of that stamp set, because I thought it was just a little bit plain. And then I just quickly made my own DSP basically and stamped these little hearts all over the circle, off the circle a little bit, kind of peeking over the edge. And that's all I did there. And then, considering I have leftover tape here, I'll just stick this on the tape. But your regular adhesive, because this is just flat on flat. Take your punch part, make sure it's on. Give it a press. And then this can be put on with dimensionals, wherever I put my dimensionals. Oh, they're there underneath the press I just finished. I like putting 3 like in a triangle when I do circles. I normally cut my dimensionals in half, but I know we're short on time, so I'm just going. And I put that in the middle, like so. Put my brush to the side. Then I'm going to take my greeting. I just put tape in the middle because it's going to be popping off the edges anyways. And I did fresh curry and I embossed it in white. We all know how to emboss with our embossing powder, so we don't need to watch that step. And I just put it flat on flat. And then I colored the shoes. The colors I use for the shoes are Lost Lagoon Light and Dark, Dark Pretty and Pink, and Light Pretty and Pink, and Lemon Lolly Light and Dark. And then I use the color lifter just to lighten up the middle of the shoe a little bit. I don't know if you could tell from here, but it's just a little bit paler in the middle where the laces would go, where the edges are darker. And then I fussy cut it out and put it on a dimensional. So that's my version of their baby card, using the blending brushes as a background. So that's card 1. And then I just added the dots, like the gems, to tie it all together. So that's that one. Here. And we'll go to the 3x3 card. So the 3x3 card is Lost Lagoon, which is 6x3. You have 3 by 2.5 of DSP from the Country Lanes 12x12 or Country Woods, and you want this. This is the piece that they used. And then I did the inside with Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. And then it says, I adore you, because on theirs they say love you, but I'm not sure what stamp set they were using for that, but it didn't match the stamp set that matches the dies, because this is the stamp set that matches that hybrid die set, but that wording wasn't in here, so that's how come I used I adore you instead, because I wanted to keep it kind of like that. I don't have the dies, but I have the stamp set. So, and because I didn't have the dies, I remembered way back when, and I mean way back when. Remember this little doodad, Embosslets? They have a heart that's very similar to what we have, and so that's what I used to get my 3 colors. And the colors I used were Lost Lagoon, Pretty in Pink, and Lemon Lime Twist are the 3 cards or hearts. The first 2, what I did is once you did it, you patted over it with Versamark, so it gives that tone on tone. And then this one, what they do is they just lightly rub the same color ink over top. Now, if you had the actual die set, you probably would have done that with the embossing folder, cranked it through, and it would all be done. But because I didn't have that die set, I have to do it a different way. And so the finished product looks like this. So there you can see that bit of color here. You can't really tell, but in person you can, but online you can't really see that. It's just maybe a little bit darker just because of the Versamark. Plus I cut the words out, put that on dimensionals, and then open it up. I decided to use the little heart wreath and with all my heart to carry that stamp set through. So that's my version.
That's
Okay.
cute. That make good love notes for Valentine's Day. And I just love that these are great techniques. If you wanted to have a technique class, it's a great way to incorporate them.
So
Good
that's
job,
my
Kim.
little 3x3. And it doesn't take a lot of paper at the 3x3s really. So that's how I did that one. Move that one off to the pile. Then we'll go to this interesting card, the pink polka dot card. It's a different size. Just bear with me here. Get all my bits and pieces. And it's a weird color combo too that I would have never thought of going with, that they decided to use. All right, so I'm using a hole punch. The stamp set I brought in just because I wanted something. They don't really give you any guidance, but this is current translucent florals. I thought it'd be nice to bring in that little flower shape and the happy birthday image. That's the stamp set I decided to go with. I do have the actual embossing folder. It's another one of those big ones again. I can't remember the name of it, but it's in the catalog. It's one with all the, it reminds me of like a tie-dye shirt. It kind of reminds me of. But that's the embossing folder. The color inks I'm using are Crushed Curry and Pretty in Pink. Like I said, I would have never put those 2 colors together, but that's what they seem to be in their demo. And they wanted Pretty in Pink matching ribbon, but I didn't have it, but I had this, which was fairly close. So that's what I used for the ribbon. And then I also used the Stylish Shapes dies, which are somewhere around here. Oh, here they are. And I used this big long one here that has the flag on both ends for the tag that they show on here. So I also use that as well. All the pieces are, the tag itself and this are both run through the same embossing folder. And I'll just move this out of the way. And the size of this paper, so that if you wanted to make it, is 8.5 long by 6 wide. So it fits the actual folder. And then you have your tag, and you're just going to fold that tag in half, like so. And then you're going to take your punch, make a little hole at the top. So now you can handwrite something between the bubbles. It's just what they had on there. I think it's kind of silly to have it both embossed, but that's how they had it. And then they had, now I've lost my little piece, but this is what it looks like when it's done. You have that little bow punch that we just had in our game that has that 2 punches on it and has that little sprig one. That's the one that they use. And that's in Crushed Curry. And the tag is in course basic white. And then they just tie it around as a belly band, like with your ribbon. And then when you open it up, you're opening it up like in 3 ways. And then that's the insert. that I put inside. They didn't have any instructions on that. I just did that myself because, you know, you have to have some type of greeting in there. And so the score lines on this are at 2 inches and 5 1/4 are your 2 score lines. So then you're going to score that, fold it up and score it and fold it over. And then you put your ribbon and tie your bow and then tie your little tag to it. And that's how you do their version of the little pink card. Only thing different out of theirs and mine is I didn't have that sprig and I didn't have the ribbon. But you could use white ribbon. You could use a different sprig. It doesn't matter. But that's how they made that size. That's how they folded it. So that's that one, which is a different type of fold, a different type of card. And when it embosses, it's very embossed. Like it's a very deep emboss. And I didn't use water. You know how you can spritz things? This I did not do. It's just a dry emboss. Because this one's a very deep. I wouldn't do that maybe with the big ones. I find that they're very deep when they emboss versus some of our littler ones. The littler ones, you can definitely go and use some water to make that a little bit more pronounced. So that's it for that one. And then the last one is this, I'm going to say home decor piece type thing. I'm not sure what you would call it. It's kind of like a wall hanging or a little, I don't know, greeting. And again, that's doing that big die. So you're using our heavy duty in colors jute trim, and they used the wild wheat is what they had. So they had that. Of course, the hole punch again, because you need the hole punch so you can put the jute through. One of the stamp sets they're using is Spotlight on Nature, and that's where they get the leaf from, and that's where they get this pretty flower from. And the other one, I borrowed from, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a new one. It's that one that goes with those really fancy little dies. It's a whole bunch of little oval dies and leaves, and it has all these beautiful greetings that are like inspirational quotes like faith, hope, love, and that I would look it up in the thing for you. You need your water painter. You need a couple of your markers. I'm using Lemon Lime Twist again and Flirty Flamingo. I'm also using Pretty Peacock ink. I'm using, no, I ran out of gold. Can you imagine? I had gold embossing powder for decades and I ran out. And I like, okay, I'll run to Michael's really quick because they have no embossing powders at Michael's. So I'm like, okay, we'll do copper instead. But I'll just show you the thing. And then the other, I don't have those dies, but they're very similar to these ones. The ones that so I just pulled up what I had. And this is kind of very similar to the shape in the book. And these ones are called the Stitch Nested Label dies. And I used the biggest one and then the one next down is what I used. And you're using very vanilla paper and you run that through. And I did that wood one. So I just did a different one. They have the one with the swirls. I don't have that, but I did the wood version. So I ran that through the thing first. And then I did my greeting, which is faith never gives up. Now this you never gives up is one straight line. So you just do one word at a time and you build it down. You just like take the ink, wipe off what you don't need, stamp the word that you need, and it's just another way of using your stamps in a different way. And the measurement for that is 1/8 by 3/4 square or rectangle is that piece. So that's our greeting. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of wild wheat, which is 6 inches long and about half an inch wide. And that's what's going to give you your top and bottom finish looking trim. And then you're going to stamp on your very vanilla your image of your flowers. And then you're going to have one in white, which is the biggest one, and one in vanilla, which is the lowest one. And you're going to put those on top so that kind of gives you that kind of like a frame border look. And on here, you're going to stamp your leaves. And in the end, once you get it all put together, it looks like this. So you fussy cut your leaves. And what you do with this is once you stamp it, you take and when you stamp the flowers, that's why you got the 2 colors. Because you color your rubber stamp with the green for the leaves and the pink for the flowers, and you stamp it. The leaves you just stamp regular, in your ink pad and whatever. But then you take your water painter and you go over them. And if you can look, they kind of look like a quick watercolor wash. And that's how you dry that color. So you want that kind of messy water look. And that's what you're doing, because you don't want your, because this is just regular paper. It's not watercolor paper. So you have to be quick what you're doing. You don't want to use too much water. Like, you don't want to saturate the paper because it's just going to pill and be awful. So it's just a really quick wash. And it actually looks really pretty when it kind of cools and blends. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not like a perfect stamped image anymore. It's just kind of, well, watercolor look. It's really pretty. And then you just put your wild wheat on the bottom and the top. You punch 2 holes and you put your twine through. And what you do here to get all this is that, personally, I probably wouldn't do it this way, but this is what they said in the instructions. That you take this, you take your Versa pad, and you rub it right across. I did that, and as you can see, it got stuck in places that I would not want that to be stuck on, because you only really want it to be on the high points, not the low points. But this got stuck kind of everywhere. So this probably wouldn't be how I really wanted it to look like, but it is what it is. So if I was going to do this again, what I would probably do to make it better is I would probably do the Versamark on the actual embossing folder, then emboss my paper through, then I would sprinkle my embossing powder. But that's not how they said to do it in the instructions, but that's how I would change it. I think would be better, in my opinion. And before you're doing that, I would do like the embossing buddy to make sure that the paper doesn't have any static or, anything is finger oils, so that you don't have things sticking where you don't want them to be stuck. And that's basically how that came about. And that's the end of that. Trying to make it quicker.
Sorry, my mouth is full of ice. Good job, Kim. Those are beautiful. I even think, like, I love that as a beautiful sign to hang up somewhere, but I would almost use like some small backing to put in behind it.
Yeah, it's very flimsy. I would say something like either put a backing of our 12 by 12 paper, or maybe another sheet of like cardstock, just to give it a stiffer stability. Like, this is very wobbly. Like, it curls, like, because you did emboss it. You know how that embossing will sometimes make your paper buckle and curl.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're using so much embossing powder on this, like, it's not just a little spot, it's like pretty much the whole thing is being embossed. So it does warp the paper a little bit.
Yeah, so depending on what you're using it for, it does make sense. So if you plan on hanging that or giving it as a gift, just the humidity in houses might cause it to warp too, right? So anyway, but it's beautiful. I love the idea. I probably will try it.
So that's the only thing that they had, was this one page on embossing. So like I said, we all know how to emboss. We know how to add water, which will make our embossing deeper in our paper and will help our white paper take embossing a little bit better, because sometimes white paper, especially our older ones, would crack in our embossing folders. Now it's a little bit better. Like I said, the other thing you would do is, like, you could do it with ink. You can do it with Versamark, because you put the ink on your embossing folder and then that image will be sucked into the paper. For some reason they didn't show that really, but you could do that too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Kim. As always, we appreciate all the beautiful projects and the hard work you put into it. Next month's meeting is on the 17th of November. And I think that Kim and I just got a little confused because we got out of order. And so we're going to focus on the scrapbooking kits next month. And Kim, I'll help you out with a kit or two, but we'll showcase for, not everyone uses them to scrapbook. So we'll just show you card alternatives that you can do with some of them. I think that that'll be fun as we get ready to move into the new year. Does anyone have any questions before we leave? There was a lot. So we had a challenge last month. I don't know if people had a chance to post their cards that they made using designer series paper. Let me make sure I'm wording that right. What that was. Oh, they were mini catalog projects, sorry. And then this month, I think it was DSP projects. So make your cards, post them, because I always like to give away prizes. I've got some blends to give away for that. And so for next month, because we're going to be focusing on scrapbook kits, that's going to be the challenge. Make something with the scrapbook kit, whether that be a page or whether that be a non-scrapbook item, whatever you want to do. Do that for some fun. Share with us your creations. And even if you don't post them in the Twist and Dabs group, post them on your personal page. Just tag me in them so that I know it's there for the challenge, and we'll do a draw for blends. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm sad that trunk or treat is not going to work out this year. We will try and plan that a little earlier next year. I have great visions for it. We'll see where that goes. And I am going to try, like, we've got our stamp together in December. I don't know. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So even though I'm delayed getting all my card Stamp-A-Stacks out, I just want you guys to know that as Twist and Dabs team members, because I've decided not to do stamp sets as part of this anymore. I'm trying to give people notice ahead of time what stamps I'm using. Like, I know which stamps I'm using for the next 3 months. That Twist and Dab members get $10 off my Christmas card class Stamp-A-Stack. That way you can still be inspired, still make projects, and I'll make the kits for you. So if there's any of those you want to join, by all means, sign up. So,
I sent you money today.
oh, awesome. Thanks, Sue. Next weekend is the start of it, which I should have had advertised a long time ago. I'm a month delayed in getting them going, but they're going. And the first one is very rustic. So each of my 3 Stamp-A-Stacks always focus on a different stamp set, but they also are focused on different color combinations, and all the color combinations coordinate. And so for this one, it's a very rustic kind of color. And then we'll do some blues, sparklies for next month with one-of-a-kind snowflakes. And I forget what the third one was. I have to look it up. Anyways, hopefully you can join.
Trisha,
Yeah.
the date that you have for, what is it, December something is
21st.
going on.
Yeah.
Eh?
The 21st.
What happens that day?
Oh, sorry, ask your question again.
So you said we're having something on a weekend in December. I think you said.
Oh yeah, it's our team stamp together. It's our team all wrapped up party for the year.
Yeah, and what date is that?
That is
15.
on
You
Okay.
said the
December
15th.
15th.
Yeah.
What
so-
time?
I'll send out the details.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that our hampers go out the next day. So we'll be busy building hampers that day.
Okay.
We're expecting 110 plus families, so
Holy crud.
yeah.
Well,
Last year
hopefully you get them all done the days before.
it's we're usually still doing it that night, but yeah, just so you know.
Okay, no, good to know. But yeah, that's one that's been planned for the last few months. I actually had that one pre-planned a long time ago. And it is at 7 o'clock.
Okay, well,
Unless I
hopefully
can-
one of us can go, either me or Cheryl, or both.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't want to commit to the time either, though, you guys, because I don't have the details out yet, because I've got a few things in the works. So it just depends on what time I can have a certain space.
Oh.
So don't even quote me on that. It'll either be an afternoon or it'll be an evening. I don't have that 100% confirmed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, have a good night.
Thanks,
Yay.
everyone. You too. Enjoy your week.
Thanks again, Kim.
You too.
And thanks,
Bye.
Trisha.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kim.
Bye.
Bye.